Hotepish with your host, Dwan B. Intelligent ish talk, intelligent shit talk, where we balance the profound with the profane. Political satire, celebrity and expert guests, information and entertainment, conversation and solutions. Leave your feelings at the door.
Hit the like button and share. We gonna start in about 5 minutes. So go drink your coffee and all that shit. We'll be back.
You're listening to Hotepish with your host, DwannB. Intelligent ish talk, intelligent shit talk, where we balance the profound with the profane. Political satire, celebrity and expert guests, information and entertainment, conversation and solutions. Leave your feelings at the door.
That's right. Leave your motherfucking feelings at the door. Go check out my broadcast a couple days ago about grown men crying. Especially you men out there. Don't nobody give a damn about how you feel. Your feelings is irrelevant. You dig what I'm saying? We here to talk. Thank y'all for joining. Thank y'all for joining. We are here live. What's up, Star? What's up, Boss of Queenie? What's up, Dre? What's up, Evan? Guru Cam, thank y'all for joining. We here talking about a few things. Here. Kyrie Irving is still standing strong against the puppets. What's up, B Party? What's up, Dr. Sinister? What's up, T Dynamite, Butter Love? Thank y'all for joining. Yeah. So we are here talking about a few things. Like I said, Stephen A. Smith, Jamel Hill, all the ESPN people, all the pet Negroes. Ooh, these mofos is mad at Kyrie Irving. Ooh, they mad. They big mad. Because he's choosing to stand on his own. Again, like I said before, and I said this before, it's not about whether or not you want to take the vaccine. It's not about that. It's about your freedom of choice. And if you're one of those people running around saying, well, I don't want to get sick if you don't take it. Well, if you are worried about getting sick if someone else doesn't take it, then how good is this thing you injected into your arm if you still got that worry? But that's another story. This here's about personal freedoms. And then when we're done talking about Kyrie, well, we're going to talk about him throughout the whole episode. And then Mark Ridley-Thomas, the dude I've been telling y'all about on this show since I've been doing this show for 2 years, year and a half, indicted on federal charges. What does Professor Black Truth say? When white supremacy is done with his tools, it breaks his tools. That tool, Mark Ridley-Thomas, is about to be broken. And I could not be more happy. Because he never did anything good for us as a people to begin with. So we didn't gain anything by him being in office here in LA. We ain't losing with him being out of office and broken. But we'll get to that point a little later. What's up, Larry, in the chat? Oh, yeah. Also, I'm going to share a story that Larry, about Kyrie Irving, firsthand from Larry. I remember the situation when it happened, and we're going to break it down. Now, as a matter of fact, I think we're going to start with that. I've always liked Kyrie Irving. Going back to his rookie season. I've been a fan of that brother since then. Because Kyrie was always the kind of dude that seemed to follow his own mind. You know, he's been one of those players that does what he wants to do, when he wants to do it, and how he wants to do it. Not necessarily saying he's rebellious in any kind of way. Like, I'm not calling him some kind of just random rebel, but I'm calling him someone who has always followed his own mind. You know what I'm saying? So Kyrie being the person that stood up to this, him standing up to this whole thing, is of no surprise to me, because he's always followed his own mind. Look, somebody in the chat room said, right message, wrong time. Well, if it's the right, there's never a wrong time to deliver the right message. What kind of shit is this? Right message, wrong time? That, like, how is that possible? When is it ever the wrong time to say the right thing? Unless a gun is to your head. We don't need a lesson from you on how vaccines work. If you're that great at it, here's what I encourage you to do, my brother. If you want to give a lesson on how these things work, you have a YouTube channel. Download this program that I use called Ecamm. Ecamm allows you to screen share what's on your side of the game and whatever notes you have. Download Ecamm if you have a Mac. If you don't have a Mac, get OBS. And on your channel, you go and talk about your point of view on vaccines. Okay? Over here at Hotepish, Intelligent Shit Talk, it's ain't about you. It's about what I gotta say. So if you want to give a sermon, I encourage you, because I'm pretty sure you're an intelligent person, I encourage you to give that sermon on your page. There's never the wrong time to deliver the right message. And the message Kyrie is spreading is follow your own mind. If you want to take it, take it. Ain't nothing wrong with that. If you don't want to take it, then you don't want to take it. What's the problem? And then people always say, well, you took the polio vaccine. Yes, but guess what? People that took it aren't running around telling people who didn't take it to take it out of fear of contracting polio. All right? People who took the chickenpox vaccine ain't running around to everybody saying, you need to get your chickenpox vaccine too. Because if you don't get your chickenpox vaccine, I might actually get it again. No, stop it. You sheeple. So my thing is, look, if you have something else to say and you want to talk to the world about all the glorious, wonderful things and great liberties of the vaccine, you have a channel. I encourage you to go and spread the news. Spread it loud. But over here, we gonna think. We're gonna think over here. And if your thought process says, hey, look, I still want to go and get that injection, I encourage you, man. Like, this ain't a judgment zone. This ain't a place where I judge you on what decisions you make. Kyrie Irving is somebody who, let me start off with this. This was my introduction to Kyrie Irving. I remember when he was a rookie, he played for the Cavs. And he played for this, there was this one dude I knew that was on the Cavs. That played for the Cavs. And he was cool with me and Larry. And this is a situation that happened. I actually wasn't there. Larry was there. And I remember Larry called me about 5 minutes after this happened. This is Larry on Facebook. This is his backup profile because he's in Facebook jail for being an idiot. But Larry wrote this, and y'all know Larry in the chat room. Why I root for Kyrie. This has nothing to do with the current Whoopty Whamp stance. NBA rookies all go through some sort of hazing. They carry the vets bags, get breakfast, run errands, etc. Which is very true. This has been going on since, as long as I've known sports, rookies called rookie hazing. Happens in college, happens in high school, to the freshman classes. Happens in the NBA too, where the rookies have to sort of bend the knee to the veterans. This is Larry talking. Quote, I was taking one of his teammates to the airport for a road trip. When we get there, I hop out the truck to help with the bags. When he says, don't worry about it, Kyrie will get them. That teammate yelled at Kyrie to come to the truck. Kyrie was outside on his phone. After a few minutes, Kyrie comes to the truck and says, I ain't carrying shit. I'm already carrying the team. You get your own bags. I'm a starter. I remember Larry called me like right after that happened. And that was just a couple weeks before I met Kyrie for the first time. And when I met Kyrie, I was like, this young nigga is his own man. Now back at that time, that's when he was getting caught on boats with a whole bunch of white women and stuff like that. And people were kind of mad at him over that. But I never forgot that moment, and I never forgot meeting the dude. I don't know Kyrie like that. I've only met him like twice. And it was very in short passing. It was like a handshake, keep pushing. It wasn't like we sat down and had a long conversation. It wasn't none of that. But this is who Kyrie always has been. Kyrie has always been his own man. Yes, D Spears, that's who that is. I'm not mentioning the other player. If you know who he is, you know who he is, but the nigga's irrelevant to me. The whole point is Kyrie was like, look, man, I ain't with all that rookie hazing stuff. Matter of fact, you ain't good enough to hold my jockstrap. So you get your own bags. And I've been a fan of Kyrie Irving ever since. So that's just to give you a little background, a little context to who Kyrie has been. Basically, as long as he's been in the public eye, he ain't following the program. He's doing what he feels best. And I like that. I've never been the kind of person that believes I'm always right about everything. My mindset has always been, you be you. You be 100% you. Unfiltered, unadulterated, uncompromising. Be you. Whatever that is. Because I'm going to be me. I'm comfortable in my own skin, so I encourage other people to be in their own too. Because no one knows how to live your life better than you. You have your own internal compass. You have your own internal guide. And I'm not smart enough to outthink your internal senses for those people who are connected to who they are. That's why I always encourage people, the route to all this shit, to de-stressing, the route to being liberated and living a happy, liberated, joyful life is knowledge of self. You must know who you are. That's the root to all this shit. You knowing who you are. I can't tell you how to be the best person you can be. I can tell you how to find the inner voice that can then tell you who to be the best person you can be. And you can get that in my book, No Time to Waste. The link is in the description bar. In my link tree, you can go get my book right now, No Time to Waste, and get the webinar while you at it. I taught a whole webinar explaining the book. That book is teaching you how to get in touch with yourself and find your gifts. Find what you're great at. Discover your internal greatness. Because the media, your mama, your daddy, your teacher, the president, nobody can tell you how to live your life. Yep, Larry, that's definitely, Larry said who that player is. That's what, that nigga was one of those go along to get along, follow the program ass, lamest niggas I ever met in my life. So Kyrie was right to not listen to that motherfucker. I appreciate the Cash App, Charlie P. Yeah. So let's get into a little bit. Let's get into a little bit of back and forth of what's been said. I'm going to go ahead and play some of what Stephen A. whack ass had to say. I'm going to play some of that, and then I'm going to play what some Kyrie had to say in response. Fair use, goddammit. I'm not going to play any videos. Just going to play the audio. Just going to play the audio because I don't want those strikes and shit. But here's a little bit of what Stephen A. Smith had to say. And then we're going to break down what Kyrie had to say in response.
Your position is that you're going to sit up there and compromise the championship aspirations of an organization you signed on to represent. You coaxed Kevin Durant into signing on to represent. You played the role in coaxing James Harden into signing on to represent. You're going to compromise all of that because you want to give a voice to the voiceless. Really? And how?
You see how he marginalized giving a voice to a voiceless? This is what I always say. Scared cowards don't understand people who think and stand for themselves. They don't. Cowards don't understand the mindset of people who have independent thought. When that thought differs from their thought. See, people like Stephen A. Smith, and basically anyone who works for ESPN or Fox Sports, these are go along to get along as no mind of their own having ass people. You can't have a mindset of your own. I'll never forget that same player that Larry was talking about that was in the picture. I'll never forget when he went to broadcast school at ESPN at Syracuse University. I don't even know if I feel like telling the story because sometimes you just want to leave old past parts of your life in the past. You don't want to necessarily bring up past parts of your life because you just want to leave them dormant, dead where they are. But I'm going to bring it up for the case of this show. This particular player studied at, if you're going to work for ESPN or Fox Sports, there's a university, at Syracuse University, they have a 6-week course on media. It's at the university. And you have to take that course if you want to be a correspondent for ESPN or one of these shows. And I'll never forget when that player went to that course. He was the biggest, he could not stand LeBron James, this particular player. But I remember when he came back from that course, he was like, man, if you're going to work for ESPN and Fox Sports, They basically be like, look, you got to talk positively about LeBron, about Michael Jordan. You can't bring up this player. You can't bring up that player. And basically, you know what I mean? You got to follow the company program if you're going to work for one of these shows. They make that very clear in the ESPN broadcast school. They make it extremely clear that's what's going to happen. And I've done full breakdowns on this before in old shows back when this 2 years ago when I didn't see it. Well, I don't think I uploaded those shows to YouTube. So yeah, you probably can't find those. Well, anyway, it's made very clear that when you work for ESPN, you have to listen to direction. When you go work on First Take, when you go work on Around the Horn or any of those shows, you're given a topic and you have to argue yes or no. They don't make that a place for people to think. You got to follow a script. Kyrie Irving makes that clear in his video when he talks about, if you go back and watch, I'm going to play some of Kyrie Irving's response on his Instagram. I'm going to play some of that, but I'm not going to play the whole video. It's 25 minutes. You got to watch it on your own. But he brings up the fact that these guys are puppets. That's not him talking. That's not me talking when I say they're puppets. That's literally their job. Their job is to repeat what's written for them and sell it to you. Yes, Dark Knight, he is a clown. But I remember back, because I wanted to do this broadcasting thing years ago. And back in the 2009s, 2010s. And I had a show called Sports and Things. If you're on Blog Talk, you can find them. There's some of those episodes still up there from 2011, 2010. If y'all think I'm lying and bullshitting, look me up. Look up sports, the letter sports, the letter N, the word sports, the letter N, things with a Z. Sports and Things. Those episodes are still up on Blog Talk Radio. This NBA player we're talking about, and Larry too. It's me, Larry, and that and that NBA player that was Sports and Things. Me, Larry, and that NBA player. And so during that time, homie was just started getting work for ESPN and Fox Sports. He was telling me all kind of information of what goes on behind the scenes. I was like, oh, okay, so y'all really don't really get to say what they really want to say. You motherfuckers really is following a script. Okay. And that's when I stopped watching ESPN. Anybody who knows me, before 2011, I never missed an episode of First Take, going back to when it was Cold Pizza, Around the Horn, Pardon the Interruption, the 9 p.m. Sports Center, the 10 p.m. Sports Center. I watched all that shit. I used to watch all that shit until I got a peek behind the scenes and saw what it really was. And that's when I was like, all this shit is contrived. Man. Yeah. So let me play a little bit more of this. When Kyrie says they're puppets, he's literally telling the truth. Let's play a little more of what Stephen A. Snitch had to say.
How is that going to work out for you, Kyrie Irving? You're going to disappear from the game of basketball? Who the hell is going to be interested in what you have to say when you have proven that you can't even be trusted enough to do your damn job? A job you volunteered for. This ain't the military where you were drafted. You chose to play basketball.
Listen to this company man. Because you have a job. You have a job. A job that you signed up for. Yeah. Let's talk about that, Stephen A. When he signed up for that job, when he signed the contract for that job, there was no vaccine mandate. This thing wasn't even a concept a year ago. To be mandated to take a vaccine to do your job. So it's not what he signed up for. You Jeffrey Osborne looking puppet. Nigga look like a cross between Jesse Osborne and Kermit the Frog. Can you woo, woo, woo? Oh, what we have is much more than they can see, ass-faced ass nigga. You have a job. Puppets don't understand puppet masters. Let's keep going.
Basketball. You chose to enter the NBA. You chose to sign that contract as a free agent to go to the Brooklyn Nets. You chose Brooklyn as your destination. You chose the Nets franchise to represent. You asked KD and James Harden to come on board with you in Brooklyn to establish your own legacy, and then you leave them hanging. Because of what exactly? Your own individual principle? I am not calling Kyrie Irving stupid. Kyrie Irving, I happen to believe, is an intelligent brother whose heart is in the right place. But now you've regressed to an alarming level of self-righteousness. It not only makes you look hypocritical and untrustworthy, it makes you look what I know you are not, which is flat out stupid. It's the stupidest thing that I think I've encountered with NBA play. Like, you gonna sit up there and not play and not take a vaccine that evidently is not you. You don't have a problem with it according to the reports. You just want to give a voice to the voiceless? Really? You know what? I'm gonna stop myself, Molly, Marcus,
let me say something about
Jay.
hypocrisy.
I'm not gonna say anything else right now. 'Cause I'm scared. I'm actually scared for the rest of the show.
Okay.
And what I might say.
All right.
Now listen to the Latina lady that's jumping in on it. You got three black men arguing over the freedom of choice of another black man. Because for those who I don't have the screen up because I don't want to get no copyright. But it's Stephen A., Kendrick Perkins, and Jake Williams on this discussion. And there's a Latina lady who's the mediator or host, whatever the fuck. Listen to what she got to say, jumping in on nigga business.
Go ahead.
Jay, before I come to you, because I know you have information on this subject, I just want to say, Stephen A., when you bring up the issue hypocrisy, I think there's two issues that stand out to me. One, he wants to be a voice for the voiceless, but we haven't heard from him. So if you want to stand up, you have to speak out on these issues so we understand. We can't just, hear a story and we're not even sure whether it's true or not. And the other piece is that he's upset about people losing their jobs. But what about all the people?
If you look at this broadcast from yesterday, it's ESPN yesterday, as the woman's talking, she's looking down at a piece of paper, letting you know that she's reading from, it's like so obvious she's reading from a script, her talking points, because these are her thoughts. Why does she have to read? I don't have any notes in front of me right now. I'll take that back. I do have notes. The only notes I have is the timestamps on these videos that I'm showing you. I got the timestamps on when to start and when to stop to accentuate my point. Those are the only notes I got. When I talk to y'all, I don't write shit down. Because I come to y'all from the heart. And God bless me with a pretty good damn memory so I can recall things fairly easy. But ain't no goddamn notes. Ain't nobody telling me what the fuck to say. This is gift talking. So they bring in the multicultural smackdown on Kyrie Irving for standing for itself. What's up, Amon-Ra B. Wolf from Atlanta? I'm not fucking with a nigga named Amon-Ra. Man, shit. Amen. That's why they say amen. Any brother named Amon-Ra, man, respect that man. Respect that man. Don't cross any brother named Amon-Ra's path. Never. Niggas named Amon-Ra are always right. Let me tell you that right now. Y'all always right. Salute to you, my brother. But yeah, like the video, please. Please, like the video. Share. We got 325 in here, 163 likes. Like the video. Salute, Eduardo. But that's a little bit of what they sent the puppets act Stephen A. Smith for? Larry says elephants have good memories. And I swear to God, Larry, you keep talking, I'm going to shoot one of your camels, nigga, right in the hump. Lose all his water. Your camel's still going to live, but he ain't going to be able to retain water for your trips across the Sahara Desert. This nigga Larry Goodwell look like a hieroglyph. Oh, that nigga look like he was born and raised in ancient Mesopotamia. The Philistines from the Bible look like Larry Goodwell. All right, what was I talking about? I got distracted. I got distracted. What was I talking about? Back to what I was saying. Let me play a little bit more of this video from Stephen. I'm just gonna kind of skip through and to listen to what these other suck ass punks are saying.
That it would have to be a situation where you had to have an athlete stand up and say, I want to represent the people that don't want to take a vaccine, that are losing their positions. Man, these companies don't care about that. Like, what? Who are you being a voice for? If you're being a voice for people that are not choosing to take a vaccine, that work for companies that are saying we want a vaccine mandate, that's the bottom line. That is their right. We work for ESPN. We work for Disney. We have a vaccine mandate at this company. And it is simple as this. If you don't want to take it, you will no longer have a job. Those are the consequences. Those are the things that you have to deal with. And
don't all these puppet ass niggas sound the same?
You will no longer have a job. If you don't do what they want you to do, you will no longer have a job.
What's up with these? Let's listen to how they use the word job.
Job. You will no longer have a job. You don't listen to what Massa has to say. Massa told you to take that needle. If you don't take that needle, you will no longer have a job.
Who is these niggas?
You will no longer have a job. Massa ain't gonna kick you down with a paycheck every 2 weeks because you will no longer have a job.
Hey, fellas, brother. Fellas. When you go talking like that, you sound like a bitch. All right? Again, this ain't about whether or not you choose to take the Wumpty Wamps. Not about that. It's about you standing for what you believe. And when you go around telling other people,
if you don't do this, you won't have a job.
Who are you speaking for, nigga? God damn, these niggas is soft on TV. Let's go into a little bit of Kyrie Irving's response.
For my own life, then I got to speak on things that truly matter to me. You know, I had to stop running away from using my voice and using my platform to, speak on what's true and what's mine. You know, nobody's going to hijack my voice. Nobody's going to take the power away from me that I have for speaking on these things, you know, and don't believe that I'm retiring. Don't believe that, I'm going to give up this game for a vaccine mandate or staying unvaccinated. Don't believe any of that shit, man. Like really be aware of what's being said before I even get a chance to be on the podium and speak for myself. You know what I'm saying? Like all these people saying all these things about what's going on with me, and it's just not true. Pay attention to what's going on out in the real world. You know, people are losing their jobs to these mandates. People are having to make choices with their own lives, which I respect. And I don't want to sit here and play on people's emotions either. Just use logic. What would you do? If you felt uncomfortable going into the season when you were promised that you would have exemptions or that you didn't have to be forced to get the vaccine.
What did he say? If you were promised you'd have exemptions and wouldn't be enforced to get the Woompty Wamp? So who's crossing who? Who's being disloyal to who? If a man who signed a contract that had nothing to do with vaccines gets promised just a couple months ago that his status is still in check and he's in good standing, now they switch the game up on him and he's just saying, hold on, let me make my own decision. Who's being selfish, Kyrie or the ownership? Because remember this, the owners are not mandated to take that. The people high up in the organization, they're not mandated. So who's crossing who? If we all a team, ain't we all a team? Huh? If we all a team, ain't we all a team? Let me keep going.
This is my life. I get to do whatever I want with this. This is one body that I get here. One God body that I get here. And you telling me what to do with my body, and it has nothing to do with the organization. I'm going to put that out there. It has nothing to do with the Nets. It has nothing to do with my teammates. This has everything to do with what's going on in our world. And I'm being grouped in to something that's bigger than just the game of basketball. And, you got that fandom, which is like a religion to people out here. Basketball is like a religion. Entertainment is like a religion to people. They get so caught up emotionally. It's just like, yo, effing get vaccinated or just leave. We angry at what you're doing, man. And it's just like, nah, that's like, what are you talking about? I'm a human being. I have emotions. I have feelings. I have thoughts, things that I keep to myself, things that I share. But I'm staying grounded in what I believe in.
See, Kyrie just hit on a great point. And this is a point that I had a conversation that I had shouts out to my man Barry Brewer. Funny comedian. We had a dope conversation last night on the phone. Check out Barry Brewer. Look him up. He's in a lot of those videos of Big Ja. He's performed with Craig on that tour with Craig and Big Ja. Funny comedian. We had a dope conversation last night. We were talking about athletes and sports. And I was talking about the reason why I don't really push sports the way I used to is because we're pushing these young black men to think that they're basketball players, football players. We're pushing these young black men to think that they're rappers, they're entertainers. Their only worth is in their ability to entertain us as a people. You're not a basketball player. You're a man first. You're not a football player. You're not a rapper. You're a man first. You're a human first. You're a black man first. That's how you lived your life up until you made the NBA. That's how they'll all live their lives long after they play in the NBA. You're a man first. You're a black man first. And being a man, you have multiple talents. Yeah, basketball and sports can be one of them, but you can't identify yourself as a basketball player. You have to identify yourself as a man first. And when it comes to sports, athletes aren't given that humanity, especially black athletes. They're only valuable to the extent that they can entertain the masses. And they're seen as basketball players, not humans. Kyrie Irving understands that he's a man first. He's a human first that happens to be good at basketball. They always talk about how much they love Ali right now. They didn't love Ali when he took his stance against the Vietnam War. The same thing was what's going on right now with the vaccine. in the mid 60s, America was behind the Vietnam War. And an athlete saying no to that was treasonous to your country. You were affecting the safety of your nation. That's what you were doing when you decided to dodge the draft. They were telling Ali, "Who are you?" Who are you to say no to this? They said, "Who are you?" Elvis was drafted. If Elvis could go, why can't you, Ali? Who are you next to the king? Why am I equating Ali with Kyrie? I'm not equating them as, don't be that asshole in the comment section saying, "Are you saying that Kyrie Irving was as great as Muhammad Ali?" Shut up, you dunce. We're keeping it situation by situation. Making an unpopular move in the current war that the country's in. America always has a war that it's in. And he uses wartime scenarios. And he uses his entertainers as props to draw more divisions between the people. America's current war, the current enemy, is this vaccine. 20 years ago, it was Afghanistan. 15 in Iraq. In the 90s and through now, it was the war on drugs. In the 80s and the 70s, it was communism. In the 60s, 50s, it's always some kind of war this country's at. And they use entertainers and people in the public eye as proxies in these wars. They used it on Paul Robeson, calling him a communist in the 1950s when he was the biggest voice for America, for Black America. Before Malcolm became prominent, before Martin Luther King became prominent, before Muhammad Ali became prominent, you had Paul Robeson. They were saying he's friendly with the Russians, using public opinion to turn against him. Because at the end of the day, athletes are used as puppets for whatever the dominant society wants. They don't give a shit about people standing up for nothing. Hell, the only reason why Colin Kaepernick is cool is because Colin Kaepernick shut the fuck up. Colin Kaepernick ain't saying shit. Speaking of puppets, the other puppet, Jemele Hill. She ain't even at ESPN covering sports no more. And here she gonna chime her 2 cents in on it on Twitter. Let me see here. Okay, yeah, here we go. This Dave Zirin guy said, "Respect every athlete's right to right, no matter politics." And these over here, these are liberals. You know, she's over here. Jemele Hill loves nothing more than to kiss liberal white ass. Let her white liberal say something. She gonna be all up in that motherfucker, puckering up, looking like Beetlejuice. She's backing up a white guy saying Kyrie is wrong. That's as bad as shut up and dribble. Kyrie is absolutely wrong here. And then she says, great take. Kyrie has every right to voice his opinion, but we can challenge him. Kyrie says he's not against science, but mandates. You can't play sports without being immunized. Huh? As of what, 2 weeks ago? That's not what he signed. You can't travel to certain countries without getting shots. Well, guess what? The United States, this is played in the United States. Basketball is played in the USA. You don't have to travel to other countries. Kyrie's not saying, man, she says mandates didn't just start now. That's not what he's saying. See, that's what these media types do. They don't go at the heart of what people are saying. They create straw arguments and argue that. That's where you dumb niggas pick that up. That be in my comment section with these straw arguments. Understand this. The media knows what they're doing. You don't. So don't come to them straw arguments with me. I'll break that shit all the way goddamn down. People love bringing in straw arguments when they don't agree with somebody, to break down what they saying to their little simple ass level of understanding. And someone here says, makes a comment, you cannot challenge what someone does to their bodies. Hasn't this country fought? I don't know what they spelling. Basically, this country went through this with women for over a century. A woman's right to choose. And now Jemele Hill's trying to use her twisted logic. Apparently logic is hard because you don't understand the difference between a public health crisis and a woman's reproductive rights. Hey, you fucking idiot. The whole argument when it came to whole abortion or not abortion is who's going to take care of the kids if a woman doesn't goes through with a pregnancy and has the kids, and she's not in position or can't afford to take care of the kids become a public expense. That's always been at the key of the core of the argument for abortion. Now me, I don't care either way. I do believe a woman has the right to choose, but I don't get in that whole abortion argument. My thing is fucking put a condom on. Don't even let it get to that point. That's my point of view. Wear a goddamn condom. Use contraception. Don't even let it get to that goddamn point. But for those who do let it get to that point, hey, I don't give a shit what you do. But don't go around talking about this needle is a public health crisis, but forget that if a person does go through full-term pregnancy and has that baby and is not in position to take care of that child then gets paid for and taken care of by our tax dollars. So it is a public crisis. It is a public issue. If the public is going to be taking care of a child that a parent wants, it is a public issue. Again, this ain't my point of view. This has always just been a core argument for those in that fight. So let's not get inconveniently smart here, Jemele Hill. Side note, the number of men willing to use women's right for reproductive freedom as an argument against COVID vaccine mandates is something else. Some of these same men didn't have jack shit to say when Texas essentially took away a woman's right to choose. Neither did most white women, Jemele Hill. They were fine with that too. Oh no, yeah. You like your little alliances with white liberals and okay, yeah. All right. You're not gonna talk about them. Yeah. But I did see a lot of men arguing against the whole Texas mandate. I did. Hell, most men are for abortion. Most men don't want to take care of them little crumb snatchers. That's why a lot of these worthless ass niggas be running away from their kids. They don't want to take care of them. If you can ask 99% of these dudes that ain't take care of their kids, if they could have had an abortion, they probably would have said yeah. So don't even use that argument. Looking like that little head motherfucker on Beetlejuice. Remember on Beetlejuice when they sprayed the head of that dude and he was sitting in the waiting office? She was like 3 or 4 different Beetlejuice characters. These motherfuckers and their arguments are hella convenient. That's right, Nino Black. White supremacists take both sides of the argument. That's where we at right now. What side of this argument should you be on? Whatever the hell side you choose. I ain't gonna tell you what side to be on. Hell, I encourage you not to even choose sides. Choose yourself. The only side you should ever be on in a public argument is the side of yourself. Allow this to play out. Because at the end of the day, I'm not Kyrie Irving. He can decide in 5 minutes. You know what? Even though I have this stance, I'm going to go ahead and take the vaccine so I can be part of my team. And if you're over here choosing sides, you're going to get disappointed. Look at what's going on, observe it, see it for what it is, and then go back and worry about yourself. Should none of these people speak for you? Should none of these people speak for you? Especially these handpicked puppets like Stephen A. Smith and Jamel Hill and Kendrick Perkins and all them dudes on them sports. They ain't shit. They ain't nothing but puppets, man. They're not even giving you their own point of view. The people that they're speaking for are nameless and faceless, behind the scenes, giving them talking points. That's right, Zell. The mirror speaks for you, for me. That's right. So the only person that can speak for you is your mirror. Speaking of puppets, oh no, before I go there, here's another reason why Kyrie Irving is justified to have his point of view. Did y'all know about this? They've been keeping very quiet when it comes to this. Former Atlanta Hawk Brandon Goodwin claims COVID-19 vaccine ended his season and possibly his career. So he said here that he got sick and never quite recovered from it. He was super tired in games. He was saying his back started hurting really bad. He said he was fine until then. He was fine up until he took the vaccine. Up until he took the Whoopty-Whamp-19 vaccine, he was fine. After taking that, he started getting blood clots. And he said, yes, the vaccine ended his season 1,000%. So we have an NBA player here who got his season ended due to this vaccine and possibly his career. So it's not as if there aren't health concerns regarding this. Now, this young man had never played basketball because of it. And the media is not talking about it. My thing is this. If you're going to put information out there, put it all out there. Let us make educated decisions. Why are these decisions being left up to the media to tell me what's news and what's not news? We should all be allowed to make whatever decisions we feel is best for us and our families. In other news, just last week on my show I did on black folks and what they doing to black folks here in LA, I talked about this guy here, Mark Ridley-Thomas. Go back and check my my video out a couple weeks ago on how shady LA is to black business. There was a part where I talked about this guy in particular, Mark Ridley-Thomas. And I talked about him on multiple videos of mine going back because I've been following this dude for a long time. Well, he was indicted on federal corruption charges yesterday. God damn if I don't be on point with my shit. See, I'm a different kind of dude. I'm born and raised in South Central LA. And I've told y'all time and time again, I am not the nigga to come to when it comes to gang news, gang information. I've never really been into the gangs, that whole thing. To me, gangsters are always irrelevant. They don't own shit. It's just a whole bunch of niggas huffing and puffing, shooting each other over a whole bunch of shit they don't own. So I never paid attention to them niggas. I've always paid attention to the politicians and the police officers. Thank you, Star, for posting the video link in the description bar from the video I went in on Mark Ridley-Thomas. Because to me, the gangsters ain't never called no shots. It's just a whole bunch of young niggas arguing with each other over territory they don't own. Temporary drug territory that they don't own. The people who really run your city are your city councilmen, your board of supervisors, the council, those people, the local politicians, the state senate. The police chiefs, the sheriffs. That's who I've always focused on. And I get it from my mom. Going back to when I was 7, 8 years old, I remember my mom going down to city council meetings with Nate Holden, who was over the city council, who was over the district that Mark Ridley-Thomas eventually took over. Maxine Waters, back when she was part of local government, before she went to Congress and made a name for herself nationally. We was listening to Maxine Waters talk in the late 80s. That's where my focus has always been. So, well, this dude here, Mark Ridley-Thomas, I became aware of him, for those who don't know, who've never heard the story, in the early 90s. We was going to my aunt's house. My aunt lived on 74th and Western. We were going to my aunt's house and I see this car pulling up real slow. And this older gentleman that kind of looks like Too Short. And we stopped and he said something to my dad, and my dad said, "Hey, that's a Councilman Mark Ridley-Thomas." He shake his hand. And I shook his hand. My hand felt a little greasy after shaking it. Then he walked off. My dad was like, "Yeah, man. Me and that nigga got in a fight back in middle school." Because he was a bully. And I saw him bullying everybody. And he figured, hell, shit, if I don't do nothing, I'm going to be next. So my dad kindly whooped his ass. And that was that. He never bullied my pops. I was talking to my uncle about him. My Uncle Michael, they all went to the same school. We talking about I think this when they were at John Muir Middle School in South Central LA. Back then it was called junior high. Everybody, I know a lot of people that went to school with him. They're all my uncles and my uncle's friends. And they all talked about how much of a asshole he was as a child. Well, he became an asshole, the same asshole, when he got into politics. If you look at the train going down the line, the one that goes down Exposition into Rodeo Boulevard, well, it's now Obama. That train, the one that connects downtown to the beach through USC. If you look at that train line is above ground all through Culver City where the white people live. It's above ground on La Cienega, the thoroughfare that the white folks use. It's above ground in La Brea. But when you get to Crenshaw, when you get to Mark Ridley-Thomas district, back when he was over that district, the train line, when it's crossing Crenshaw, when it's crossing Van Ness, Rodeo, Normandy, Vermont, all in the middle of the hood, South Central LA, that train line is on the ground. And there were studies talking about how dangerous that is. The train line is right behind Dorsey High School, the high school, right there on the ground. But then when it gets to USC, where the white kids are, it goes below ground and it becomes a subway. That train line is only inconvenient smack dab in the middle of the hood where black people live. And I remember going to a city council meeting and asking why. And they told me at the meeting, well, in order to save money, Mark Ridley-Thomas, he's the one that decided that the train line should be on the ground through that district. He decided it would cost too much to make it a subway or elevate it above ground. And I was like, but that train line is elevated above ground or underground on every major street except for the 4 major streets smack dab in the middle of the hood. That's because of this jackass. I explained on that show how Magic Johnson was creating the Santa Barbara Plaza on King and Marlton that was going to provide hundreds of jobs to black youth. Mark Ridley-Thomas got in the way of that because he wanted that shopping center to have his name on it. Mark Ridley-Thomas, when it comes to the drum circle in Leimert Park, let me look that up. When it comes to the drum circle in Leimert Park, the city has been trying to get rid of that drum circle, get rid of Africa Town, get rid of the open air market that's been successfully run in Leimert Park since 2000. And Mark Ridley-Thomas has not committed to saving the last hold that black Americans have in Los Angeles, the last piece of land, the last place that we have the dominant, we have the higher numbers, the last stronghold of black business, the last stronghold of black community, the last stronghold of black culture. We black Americans in LA, and it only needs one more petition signature. Sign this petition. Google it. Mark Ridley-Thomas has been ignoring us down there. We've been trying to get guarantees that we're going to be able to hold on to Africa Town, and Mark Ridley-Thomas has not responded. He's not helped. People always say,
well, if black folks just do everything in the paperwork the right way, we'd be okay.
Over there in the drum circle, they committed. They had permits that would guarantee the drum circle for years to come. What happened? They changed the laws. They changed the rules. And Mark Ridley-Thomas came out and said, oh, we have no plans on shutting down the drum circle. That's what he said with his mouth. But when it came to legislative action, he didn't do anything to stop it. So now he's been indicted on federal charges, corruption charges. Let's read this. Los Angeles City Councilman Mark Ridley-Thomas and ex-dean of USC School of Social Work were indicted Wednesday on federal corruption charges alleging a bribery scheme in which prosecutors say his son received substantial benefits from the university in exchange for the politician's support of contracts while he served on the county board of supervisors. Now, let me start off by saying this. Mark Ridley-Thomas didn't do anything different than what white politicians do every day, all day. But here's the difference. You didn't spend time looking out for the politically active people, the Black First community in your town, Mark Ridley-Thomas. So since you didn't make us a priority, we ain't making you a priority. You shouldn't have fucked up, nigga. You shouldn't have messed up. Taking money while ignoring your people. What's up, Jayla in the chat room? Jayla, no, she in the chat room. Jayla's from LA. She knows the fuckery that is Mark Ridley-Thomas. We here in Black LA, we've been occupied by a political class that uses our numbers, the numbers we had, uses our emotional energy, uses our humanity to get into office and help other people. So Mark Ridley-Thomas, call them motherfuckers you allowed to sell the Baldwin Hills Crenshaw Mall to. Call in for help. You knew our brother Tariq Nasheed was trying to open up that hidden history museum on Angeles Vista and Crenshaw. Where did you use your political weight to make sure those buildings were sold to him? He wasn't asking for a handout. He had money to buy. Where's our Black political class to make sure that those people who had the money to buy the Baldwin Hills Crenshaw Mall that were Black? Where were you, Mark Ridley-Thomas? Yeah, the money he got for the homeless that he didn't use for the homeless. Where that at? Yeah, he blackballed Jayla because Jayla, I don't know, go back and listen to my interview I had with Jayla last year. She talks about a lot of the corruption. If you can find that link for me, please. When I spoke with Jayla last year, when she was talking about the Compton PD, when she was talking about the obstacles, because what she does, she rescues women from human trafficking. See, the real ones out here don't get interviewed by Jamel Hill. They don't get pictures taken with them next to Mark Ridley-Thomas. The ones like Jayla who are really out here doing it, the people like Mark Ridley-Thomas ain't got time for them, because all Mark Ridley-Thomas want is a photo op. He ain't trying to solve shit. Yeah, hell yeah, Nipsey did more for South Central LA than Mark Ridley-Thomas ever did. Yeah, Mark and Sebastian Ridley-Thomas ain't helped shit. Nobody that's real. Kirk, you remember that interview with Jayla? That was one of my favorite interviews, the one I did with Jayla. Go back and listen to that. Spirit Wonder, go back and listen to the broadcast before you talk. They said there's no such thing as Compton PD, only Compton Sheriff. Well, there's a reason for that. And Jayla here in the chat room is a major reason why there is no longer a Compton PD. They got disbanded in 1999 because of political corruption. I choose my words carefully, brother. I know what I'm talking about. When I talked about the Compton PD, that was when the Compton PD existed and victimized our sister Jayla here in the chat room, which was one of literally hundreds of reasons is why the Compton PD was disbanded and the LA County Sheriff took over to patrol Compton, which now the city of Compton has recently sued the LA County Sheriff Department for overbilling the city. Billing the city for 10 cop cars being on the street when only 4 to 5 cop cars were out there. Follow me, follow me, follow me, follow me. Don't get in the chat room and take over. Follow me, follow me, follow me, follow me, follow me. Listen, 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 listen. Listen, I try my best to be detailed. I know I fuck up sometimes. I know players fuck up. Yes, I do fuck up from time to time. I fuck up every day, matter of fact. But I do my best to be very, 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 very careful with my words. And I also do my best to point you in the direction of where to go for more information, because at the end of the day, I'm not the end all be all of this. I encourage people to look things up for themselves. Yeah, Compton PD gang raped Jayla at the Willow Tree off the 91 freeway. That's partially why they don't exist. Again, go back and listen to that interview I did with Jayla. That's what the Compton PD was about. They did that to her while they were on duty. Since then, Jayla has become a voice for sex trafficking. Not this whole, see, look, y'all get these celebrities out here that go around putting their name on things. Oh, we must stop the victimization of our young women. Ooh. And they speak in these vague terms, but they don't do shit. That's not Jayla. Jayla is out there actually doing the thing. Actually rescuing women. And the people who are in politics and local politics don't want to deal with people like her because she wants to get the shit solved. They don't want to solve the shit. They want to keep it as a political wedge issue to make it seem as if they're doing something. Yeah, Jayla's somebody I'm very proud of. I will always speak her name up proudly. Always. She's humble. Jayla don't like the exposure. And also follow Jayla. She got some dope ass candles. This is something Jayla told me. Jayla, you told me not to do this. I get it. You told me not to because you don't want. Jayla told me it's like 3 months ago. She sent me some candles like 2 months ago. And she told me not to say anything. Hey, but look, them candles smell so goddamn good. And she got the candles with the wood wick. Instead of like the regular wick, the wick is wood. Man, shit. Them candles smell so goddamn good. Y'all better hit Jayla up and get some of them candles. Y'all better hit her up and get some of them candles. Candles ain't no joke. Candles ain't no joke. I love them candles. I know you didn't want that drop, Jayla. I know you didn't, but hell, when people do right by me, I'm always the kind of person that I gotta pass the information along. I'm sorry. If you do right by me and you have a good product, nigga, I'm gonna tell people. Shit. Hey, Jayla, put the link to your candles where they can find your candles. Please put that in the chat. And Star will retweet it a few times in the mods. Please, Jada, drop your info in the chat. I'm pumping up the candles. Well, hey, Jada, damn you. This ain't about you, Jada. It's about them candles. You don't want me over there promoting your shit, but your candles is the bomb. God damn it. So this ain't if you don't do it for Jada, just if you like some good smelling candles, hit up Jayla Baxter in the chat room. A woman who's really out there doing the work. And that goes into what I was saying, like when I was going to that back and forth with Talib Kweli. When he was like, I don't see you as part of any organizations. That's because the real ones don't need no fucking organization. The real ones just get off their ass and do the work. The real ones just do the work. The real ones don't have a camera following them around while they do the work. The real ones don't have publicists to let the world know what they're doing. That's not what the real ones just get off their ass and do it. Yeah, Jada, let them know where they can find your candles, please. The real ones get off their ass and just fucking do it. Shoestring budget, no budget. Thank you, Star, in the chat room. Thank you for putting the link in the chat room. The real ones just do it. And the real ones oftentimes don't have a political class that's going to back them. They don't have a nonprofit that's going to say their name. But that's what it's about. It's about standing on your own, standing up for yourself. I've been talking about Mark Ridley-Thomas for well over 20 years. Oftentimes being very unpopular because Mark Ridley-Thomas is a very popular politician in South Central. But I've always been someone who don't listen to what these politicians say. I watch what you do. So I've taken a lot of bullets, the last proverbial bullets, not real ones, proverbial bullets over the last 20 years talking about Mark Ridley-Thomas. And now it's coming out. You dig? Always be willing to stand out on your own. If you know you've done the work, if you know you've been on your square, if you know you've been on top of things and you've been paying attention, don't be afraid. Because you only look stupid to people who are stupid. You only look stupid to people who don't think for themselves. To people who think for themselves, whether they agree with you or not, you're always going to be in integrity. Always. Never be afraid to look different and to stand out amongst sheep. Never. Thank you, Star, for posting in the chat room. Go and support Jayla. She didn't ask for this. She didn't pay for this promotion. This is me doing it. Because she's a woman that's worth her weight in gold. And she makes a great product. I love my goddamn candles. I ain't never had a candle with a wood wick. Man, I love this shit. Have my whole house smelling nice. I was about to hang up, but James Hudson asked, will I open up the phone lines? All right, since you asked, I'll take a few calls. I got Craig Facts a little later on, so I got to get ready for that. I'll take James Hudson, you asked. Put your area code in the phone number in the chat so I know it's you calling. I'll take a few other calls, but I do want to make sure I get to James Hudson since you did ask me if I'm taking calls. If you'd like to call in, my brother, call in right now and put your area code in the chat room so I know it's you calling. So if I get 2 calls at once, I'll know which one to answer. Mind you, people, how this phone line works, I can only answer 1 call at a time. I don't have a waiting line. So while I have 1 line, 1 person on the phone, I can't answer the next call until I'm off with the current caller. Yeah, real recognize real. So if you got something to say or question to ask, go ahead and call in. I ain't gonna keep the lines open for long. What's up, caller? What's your name? Where you calling from? What the hell? I can't hear. Hold on. What's up, caller? What's your name? Where you calling from?
Hey, Dwan, what's up with you, homeboy?
What up, brother?
What's up with you, brother? I just wanted to chime in with you real quick on Mark Ridley-Thomas. I'm from LA just like you, and I've been seeing his shenanigans for years and years. And it's time that he finally got caught. I hate these politicians that try to act like they so they act like they so lily clean and they be doing more corruption and crime than the law allow, bro. I used to work with EJ. Every year I would give out turkeys at the Jackson limousine service right there on Slauson.
Oh yeah, Slauson and West Boulevard. Okay, yeah.
Yeah. I did that every year up until EJ died. But I would see a lot of these politicians there, like Diane Watson and Yvonne Birthright Braid, and Via Ragosa was in office at that time, and out of all the ones that I ever really interacted with, Maxine Waters was the realest, because at that time it was the census going on, and she had hooked me up with a job that was paying like $20 an hour. And so she's the only one that I ever seen that talk the talk and walk the walk.
Yeah.
But Mark Ridley-Thomas, I never trusted him, DeJuan, and his son, because they got caught up in that USC scandal.
Yeah.
They thought they was better than everybody else. They thought they was better than all the other black folks here in LA. But they just as corrupt as anybody else, bro. So that's all I wanted to say, man. I'm glad you did this show on Mark Ridley-Thomas, because he ain't never been for our people. He kind of got his little claim to fame during the riots.
During the riots, yeah. He was gonna come in and be the new young voice after the riots and was gonna get the city back in line.
Remember that?
Yeah.
Yeah, remember that? Yeah. All on TV, and like he was speaking for the people. But I never was down with Mark Ridley-Thomas, man, because of everything he done as far as in Leimert Park. That's his, he ain't never been no advocate for the black community, in my opinion. He only spoke up when it served his needs or his purposes, or he needed votes. Then he was in the hood, so to speak, And you just put me up on game, because I knew that Tariq Nasheed was trying to do the Hidden History Museum right there on Crenshaw and Vernon. What happened with that?
Well, according to Tariq on his broadcast, like I said, I don't know Tariq personally, but I listened to his broadcast, and he was saying that there were 2 buildings for sale that was right there in that area, and neither of them, and he had the money for both, and they wouldn't sell them to him, and he didn't have any political backing. And I knew when he said that, like, people who ain't from LA, these people who don't like Tariq, they thought Tariq was bullshitting, and I knew that before once I saw where it was located, I was like, man, unfortunately, that's Herb Wesson, that's Mark Ridley-Thomas. They ain't gonna back him. They're not gonna give him any help.
Yeah, Herb Wesson, no, they're not gonna back him.
Yeah, man, but I appreciate you for calling, man. Thank you for calling.
Yeah, and I text you out on Craig Facts too, but keep doing your thing, DeJuan. We need your voice in the community, homie. I appreciate what you do, and I respect what you do in the hood.
I appreciate it, man. You have a good one.
All right, DeJuan.
Yeah. It ain't no joke, the city, man. I'll never forget. My uncle, I call him my uncle, but really my cousin, but he was like an uncle to me before he died. Michael, he was trying to open up an eyeglass shop in South Central LA and could not get one open. He had to go way out to West Covina and Pomona to get his shop open. What's up, Jada? Is this you?
Hey, what up? It's me.
Okay, give me 1 second. Let me finish the story, then I'm gonna get right to you.
Okay.
Michael wanted to open up an eyeglass shop in South Central. Couldn't do it. So he had to go way out to Pomona, West Covina, Azusa in the late 80s, early 90s. Y'all know when they were relocating black people out there. And he tried to get one open in LA. So the riots happened, and after the riots, going back to what the previous caller was talking about, there was something called Rebuild LA. And Mark Ridley-Thomas was a big name behind Rebuild LA, where they said they wanted quote-unquote black business ownership. It took him 3 years to finally be approved to open up an eyeglass shop. He's an eye doctor. All he wanted to do was open up a black-owned eye clinic on Vermont and Manchester. And this is before all the Mexicans came into the hood. This is back when Vermont and Manchester was still black. At this time, the Mexicans were still east of the 110 freeway. They hadn't gotten west of the 110 freeway in the early 90s yet. He couldn't do it. Didn't get any political backing. He finally had to sue and ended up being able to open up his eyeglass shop. But unfortunately, he died 2 months before it opened. And the building is still there now. It's something else now. But if you ever go down Vermont in 83rd, on the northwest corner, there's a brown brick building. That building was designed by my Uncle Michael to be a community eye clinic. And he ended up passing 2 months before his vision opened up. But before he died, before it got opened up, he didn't get no help from no motherfucking Mark Ridley-Thomas. What's up, Jada, the self-esteem queen? Thank you for calling in. What's going on?
Yeah, I'll make this real short and sweet. I just want to make sure that people really understand why it's important to vote. You know, we only vote for the people and the things that we know about, but it's super important to vote for the people in your district, because Mark Ridley-Thomas and his son are another example of not all skin folk or kinfolk. And I have been waiting for the day. And I'll be the first to say it. When I reached out to Mark Ridley-Thomas years and years ago, I was very overzealous. You know, nobody knew who I was. People still don't know who I am. But the way that he treated me when I said, I don't speak for free, meaning if you're going to get money for sex trafficking prevention, what part is going to be earmarked for my organization? And when he couldn't give me that information, and I said, well, you know, I'm happy to speak for you, man, but, you know, what can I get? You know, like, can I charge? You know, it was like, no. But the way that he treated me after I said no, every time he would see me at an event, if I want to see someone or talk to someone, he'd cock block me. So this is the season, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, dogs and cats. This is the season for karma to come, and it's hitting people. It's hitting them loud and hard. And so I salute you, Dwan, and I just want you to know I'm so glad you're talking about it, because when I saw it this morning, I said, oh, yes, the chickens are coming home to roost.
Uh-huh.
So
I appreciate you, Jayla. Yeah, because you out there doing it real big. And there's another thing for people out there. Just because someone is a victim of sexual assault and they're out there speaking on behalf of sexual assault victims, don't mean they got to do their work for free. Okay? When Jayla says she was looking for some money that was earmarked, these politicians have it. It's in the budget. They pay people and companies tens of thousands of dollars weekly to come on and speak for 20 minutes. Literally tens of thousands of dollars. It's there. They pay these people, but when it comes to us, when it comes to the things that really matter, you're supposed to just do what people say, and if you don't do what they say, they don't help you. That's not even how politics works. But they only seem to want to do that when it comes to black folks and when it comes to victims of the real assaults. What's really going on?
He want to shake hands and he want to hug and kiss babies, but he don't really want to help people. And if it were me, I would be trying to figure out, where did all that money for the homeless people go? Okay, because I've seen the homeless move from over off the 10 freeway in Venice, over in Venice. I've seen the way that they've treated the homeless. Now we got millions of dollars
that aren't being spent.
And you can't tell me it's just this hotel they're about to build downtown. No, they got millions of dollars. Where'd that money go? So let's go ahead and peel back that onion. And I'll end now, but I'll just say thank you for talking about this today, because I have been waiting for the day. Oh, I've been waiting for the day that cockeyed motherfucker get it, and I'm happiest today. And that's all I want to say. I love you guys.
I appreciate you, Jayla. Yeah. Been waiting for the day, and it's here. It is here. Yeah, let's play the music. Turn it up a little bit. We're going to have an altar call. Greater good of black America. Ask for forgiveness right now. Because if you don't ask for forgiveness, you're going to suffer the same fate as Mark Ridley punk ass Thomas. Can I get an amen? Come true and confess your sins. If you voted for this bitch ass motherfucker, come clean right now. Pay attention to the local politics and get this word of God. Can I get an amen? Can I get an amen? Confess your sins and get right with the Lord. What's getting right with the Lord. Getting right with the Lord is getting right with yourself. Caller, I can't answer right now. You gotta get right with yourself. Don't be a handmade puppet like Jamil Hill and Stephen A. Smith. Cause when you a puppet, when you a tool like Mark Ridley-Thomas, white supremacy will break your ass. At the most inconvenient time of the day. Can I get an amen? Motherfucking Jesus is speaking right now. Let's go to church. That's right, man. Shit. Love yourself. The key to life is loving yourself and speaking up for yourself. Now go ahead and get one of Jayla Baxter's candles. Not now, but right now. Hallelujah. Thank you, Jesus. And get one of my shirts. Rebels for the Cause. Now available in a hoodie. Now available in hoodie format. My t-shirts. All available in hoodies. It's the winter time. Stay warm and stay black. Hotepish.com/apparel. What's up, Lovelace? Great seeing you in the chat room. What's up, Kenneth Berry? We here. But I'm about to get up out of here. Check out Craig Facts later on today on YouTube. He's in my suggested channels on here in the box. Look at and check for it. And remember this. There are no perfect messengers. Only perfect messages for those who are willing to find out. Listen to your inner voice. Don't nobody know better than you once you're in tune with yourself. You dig what I'm saying? My name is Dwan B. We out.